Hello, I'm Waterstones Children's Laureate Joseph Coelho, and I love poetry, and I think you can love poetry too. It's not long until Easter, one of my favourite holiday seasons, not just because of the chocolate, but because it's a sign that spring is not far away. When I think about Easter, I think of Easter eggs. I like all sorts of Easter eggs, but when I was a kid, my favourite chocolate eggs had a surprise inside. Sometimes the surprise was more chocolate, sometimes it was a toy, sometimes they had sweets inside. I've written a poem about my excitement when finding sweets inside an Easter egg. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. The egg starts to crack as I bite. The chocolate melts, I go goggle-eyed. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. Some sour jellies to make me tongue-tied. I widen the crack with another bite. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. The egg starts to crack as I bite. That little 8-line poem is called a triolet, and it's very simple to write. Some of the lines repeat, so even though the poem has 8 lines, 5 of those lines are repeating lines. When writing a form poem, we can use labels to help us understand the pattern of the poem. The pattern of a triolet goes like this: capital A, capital B, little a, capital A, little a, little b, capital A, and capital B. Confusing, right? Don't worry, these are just labels and they will make sense in a minute. I'm going to show you how this pattern relates to the poem. The first line of the triolet is repeated 3 times. It's the first line, the 4th line, and the 7th line. This line has been labelled with a capital A. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. I wonder if I'll find sweets inside. The second line is repeated twice. It's on the 2nd line of the poem and the 8th line of the poem and is labelled with a capital B. The egg starts to crack as I bite. The egg starts to crack as I bite. So that's all of our repeating lines in the poem. Now notice how we have 2 lines labelled with a little a and 1 line labelled with a little b. We use little letters for these lines because they are not repeating lines, but they do rhyme. The little a lines rhyme with the capital A lines, like this. The chocolate melts, I go goggle-eyed. Some sour jellies to make me tongue-tied. And the little b line rhymes with the capital B line, like this. I widen the crack with another bite. And that's what makes a triolet. So all you have to do is remember that the capital A and B lines are repeating lines, and that the small a lines rhyme with the capital A lines, and the small b line rhymes with the capital B line. We are going to write one together. Don't worry if you feel a little bit lost. It can be quite confusing, but I'll take you through it 1 line at a time. First of all, write these letters down on one side of your page. This is your guide for the poem. Have each letter on a new line, like this. A, B, capital A, capital B, little a, capital A, little a, little b, capital A, capital B. Write down your first capital A line. Once you have written it down, repeat it on each capital A line. What line could I use? I know, Easter is great. So I'm going to write that down on the capital A line, the first line. Easter is great. And then I'll repeat it every time I see a capital A. Easter is great. And then the third time, Easter is great. Now I need a super sentence for the capital B lines. And it has to be a different rhyme, so it needs a different ending. I know, I love eating chocolate all day. I'll use that. I love eating chocolate all day. And I'll repeat it the next time I say a capital B, which is right at the end here. I love eating chocolate all day. Look at that, most of the poem's done. Now we have our capital A lines and our capital B lines, and they are different rhymes. They don't rhyme with each other, which is essential for the poem to work. Now I have two small A lines and one small B line. The small A lines are not repeating lines. They are both different lines, but they are small A's because they need to rhyme with the capital A lines. So they have to rhyme with great. What line rhymes with great? I know, I share Easter eggs with my mates. That can be the first one. And the second one could be, I want an Easter egg of incredible weight. I'll pop those in. I share Easter eggs with my mates. So that's the first little A line. And the second little A line, I want an Easter egg of incredible weight. I want an Easter egg of incredible weight. Now I just need one line that rhymes with the capital B line. That line ends in day. I know, I can follow on from the line before. I want an Easter egg of incredible weight so that I can nibble the day away. So that's what I'll put here. So that I can nibble the day away. And that's the first draft of my poem finished. It goes like this. Easter is great. I love eating chocolate all day. I share Easter eggs with my mates. Easter is great. I want an Easter egg of incredible weight so that I can nibble the day away. Easter is great. I love eating chocolate all day. How did you get on? Now that you have your first draft of your poem, you can edit it and rewrite it to make changes, to make it even better. But remember, this is a structured poem, so any changes you make might mean you have to make changes elsewhere in the poem. So try and keep the rhymes the same. Oh, that's the poetry power-up sound, which means it's time for an extra challenge for your poem. Using the labels for a triolet, capital A, capital B, little a, capital A, little a, little b, capital A, capital B, write a triolet about anything you like, about your favourite computer game, about an imaginary pet, about the things you'd like to do as you grow older, anything at all. The more triolets you write, the more the structure of the poem will become second nature. And before you know it, you won't have to write down the labels. You will just know how to write a triolet, which I think makes for some very good bragging rights. All the best of luck. Off you go.